Hey, everybody, it's time to go cruising into a better financial future with your host, Kim Cruz.
Thanks, Adam. I am Kim Cruz. I'm a wife, a mom, daughter, sister, friend, entrepreneur, and business owner of Cruz Credit Consulting, but not necessarily in that order. I have over 30 years experience in corporate America and a passion for helping people succeed in all areas of life. And I am joined by my good friend, Adam Strum, who's actually the brains behind this production. Adam?
Hey, Adam Strum here in a different location today, so I look like a ghost, but that's okay. I'll get past that. I'm the former owner of Financial Rescuers, part owner of USFA.io, a new software company providing software to help small businesses grow as fast and as efficiently as possible. We use mostly AI-driven softwares. And today we're going to be showing that a little bit. Now, so I'm going to pass it back to Kim to introduce our incredible guest, who is right there on screen. Can't wait to hear from her. And I won't be talking much for the rest of this episode until near the end. So,
Yes.
Kim, back to you.
Thanks, Adam. I'm so excited to be back in action. You know, life gets in the way, things happen, and we went on a bit of a hiatus for the summer months to deal with life, right?
I was kidnapped by Nicaraguan spies. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was a little MIA for a while dealing with, life, and we are
Conditions were terrible,
track.
but the food was wonderful.
Well, that's awesome. Awesome. So what a way to start, though. We have an amazing guest, my very, very good friend, Lorraine Cruz. Lorraine and I have known each other actually for a couple of years now. And she is one busy lady. She is a true entrepreneur, a true servant leader. We met while we were both doing credit repair, and getting to know her, she has her hands in so many different things, not to mention a principal of a high school as well. So she was running her own high school. She does philanthropy work. She has a new nonprofit she's going to tell us all about. She has a credit repair company. She has a financial learning aspect of that. So much going on, and I can't wait to hear more from her. Right? Did I cover? I probably just covered maybe a fourth of what
Did you forget taking over several European islands that nobody knew about, and the trip to the moon and back, where she brought back this brand new rock that no one had ever seen before, and the Cape. You forgot about the Cape.
Yes, the Cape. Yeah,
Lorraine, it is a wonderful pleasure to have you on the show today.
Oh, thank you. I have to stop laughing first.
I'm in a goofy mood today. That's why I'm going to zip my lip and have Kim interview you. There's nothing more fun than having a cruise interview a cruise. So I'm going to step out of it.
We're cruising.
Exactly. Yep. I feel like the oddball out. I mean, but it's okay. I've always been the oddball out. So I'm good with that. I am very good with that. I'm actually going to go off screen and let you two do it. I'm going to take notes from your interview, your one-on-one interview. And then when you see me again, it means we're going to get started. Kim and I are going to get started. We're going to share screens, and we're going to show you how we create a personalized video for your business.
Gotcha.
All right. I'll be back. Or as Arnold would say, I'll be back.
Awesome. So, Lorraine, tell me more about you. Tell me about you first, and then we'll go into different paths that you're taking.
Well, let's see. Well, my name is Lorraine Cruz. People close to me call me Rain. So Lorraine Cruz has become kind of a handle for me moving into my entrepreneurial world. So I was a 35-year education veteran, right? I am the mother of one ginormous son who's just turned 26 years old a few weeks ago. He's 6'8". He's gorgeous. And he's still driving me a little crazy, but you know, what sons don't do that?
Yep. Spoken like a true boy mom. Yep.
Right.
I can relate.
I am a boy mom. I'm a boy sister. Woo! I'm a boy niece, as I have 11 uncles. I have 5 aunts, but I have 11 uncles and 20 male cousins. So my life is dominated by men. But I have been a 35-year educator, of which 20 of those years was as a teacher, teaching bilingual and dual language education. I've taught all grades. I started in education teaching adults in vocational schools. And even though I studied criminal psychology with a focus on forensics, I realized the first time I had the dry erase marker. You remember when, well, maybe you don't remember, I don't know if you do remember, when they transitioned from chalkboards to white erase boards, and those markers were so strong.
Oh,
They would get you high. I was like, woo, you know, that kind of thing. But when I got that dry erase marker in my hand, I realized that I had been a teacher all my life, as I taught my little brothers how to read and write. I was always playing school with my cousins. I was always that babysitter for the family. And I always had the kids learning something, reading something, writing something, drawing something, coloring something. And I ended up in education. And needless to say, after 20 years in education as a teacher, all of my phenomenal leaders that I worked under just kept pushing me into leadership and telling me, you're going to be a principal, you're going to do this. And I was like, no, no, no. I was fighting going into leadership. But literally the last principal that I worked for found a program for me free. So I got my postmaster's a doctorate, because I'm not finished with the doctorate, but I got my credentials to become a licensed school principal. And since then, I've been a principal of an elementary, of a middle, and most recently an alternative high school. And I always say my claim to fame in education is I'm a Prince fan, and purple is my favorite color. And now, and with my name Rain, everybody will call me Purple Rain, is that I was a principal in Minneapolis in Prince's old high school.
Oh, okay.
Where it's an elementary school now, but it was a high school when he was high school when he was there. So that's my claim to fame. But I've been a principal now, and I just finished my last principalship. I believe my last principalship, is I am about 2 years away from retiring officially from the educational realm. And one of the things for me is, having been a product of the Chicago public school systems, being an educator, being a parent of children and students and youth in the system, is at the end of the day, these are all systems. And a lot of times these systems move away from the purpose or the vision or the goal, which is to educate our youth to the best of their ability, to give them the best options in education, right? And you have sons, and you have one on his way to college, right? And that's so important. And so I got involved in some started off as side hustles, one of them being in the area of financial literacy and financial support. In that, the original company that I started with also provided a scholarship opportunity for youth. And that's really what drew me into them. But then it also helped me branch out into ensuring that financial literacy and understanding was being taught to my high schoolers, because my high schoolers were 16 to 21-year-old, and they didn't have a clue about writing a check, saving money, how not to just splurge on your credit cards and all this kind of stuff, but also the opportunity for them to get scholarships. Moving forward, as I transition out of the educational field in a formal sense, not working with someone else's system, I've started just this week. It got filed just yesterday. A nonprofit organization supporting youth around education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and art. And so I have 2 LLCs. One is Learning with Lorraine, which is really centered around literacy, about coaching, leadership coaching. As I coach aspiring principals, struggling principals, newer principals. And then I have another LLC, which is Agape Galleries and Art, which is focused around the arts and supporting youth around learning using the arts for the social emotional development. So I want to bring all of these things together in a comprehensive way so that I am accessible to the youth in the community who recognize me in education. Everybody knows that's Miss Cruz. She was my teacher. She was my principal. But one of the things that is really exciting is that they know that what I may bring to them is something viable because I've had success with the work that I've done with them.
And, you know, you and I have had conversations while you were sitting in your principal's chair, and I've heard those conversations that you've had with your students. And it is just absolutely amazing the way that you communicate with them. And you really get your point across to them, but you're working with them. So I've experienced that firsthand, and I know that you have a passion for helping people in, like Adam and I, in all areas of their life. So you've done a tremendous job with that. And I know that it was probably very tough leaving your last role as a principal.
Yes, and it's crazy because I had knee surgery this year. Mm-hmm. And I had one in January and the second surgery was in June, literally the day before the graduation of my last class. And so I was there and hobbling about and, just sharing with the students that were leaving, saying, not only are you leaving the setting, but I am as well, was really tough. But the students were so phenomenal because they're like, well, so whatever you do, we know you're going to include us. Mm-hmm. And so this summer, I was instrumental in helping the students get into a granted micro-credentialing program with Google, where they get the micro-credentialing in IT and other there's 4 categories of technology through Google in this scholarship, 3 to 6 month program for youth that range between the ages of 18 and 29. So I was excited that it wasn't limited to up to 21. And my own son is now in the program because he's 26. And he's here in Chicago. And I'm really, really happy that I was able to bring this opportunity also to my youth and youth that I had worked with and partnered with a former student that I taught in 8th grade, who is the director of the program here in Chicago.
Oh my goodness.
I love helping young people and watching them become successful, watching them reach achievements that even I haven't reached. I have 2 that just finished their doctorates. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not done yet.
Hold up.
Well, how dare you get your doctorates before me? But I have one, I told her she's actually teaching at the university where I did my master's and where I was a leadership coach in the education doctoral program without having my doctorate. And I said, you may be hiring me one day. Who knows? But I love how the tables turn. Yeah. I love it. And to see them achieving and succeeding is, for me, honestly, I'm at a point where if God said to me, today is your last day, I will go happily because I know that I have done what I was put on this earth to do. I've fulfilling my purpose. I'm helping others. I've left my son in a good place and position for him to continue on in his life. And so that's a good feeling.
Absolutely. And Lorraine, you exude passion for helping others. And one of the things that, all of us can have a 9-to-5 job, and we can do it in so many different avenues, so many different paths that we can take. But when you put helping other people at the forefront, and that is your passion, that's what makes you a true good professional in whatever industry that is. So I tell my husband this all the time as a coach, which is the same as a teacher. When you want to see your students or players succeed, that's what makes a good teacher or coach. Not because you're in it for yourself, but because you're in it for them. That's what makes the standout teacher. And that's exactly what you are when you put their success above everything else.
It's just so exciting, to think about remembering as a kid my wonderings of what am I really going to be doing? How am I going to help others? And then when I became a teacher and I ended up one year, the year that I was pregnant with my son, I ended up teaching first grade. That year was the year that I was the most terrified ever as a teacher, because in my head, I knew I was a good teacher. I knew I had passion. I knew that I loved kids. But let me tell you, my biggest fear, I said, first grade teachers, the kid better come out knowing how to read. And I was terrified because that I knew that in my journey as an educator, because I came in kind of the back door, right? I was not, what I believed was that I wasn't prepared to be a teacher. What I learned and what I share with those leaders that I coach, and even with aspiring teachers, I tell them this: you can learn a curriculum, you can learn procedures and protocols, you can learn how to create a lesson plan. Trust me, you're never going to go to two schools and see the same lesson plan ever.
Yep.
But if you don't have love of children, and if you don't believe that every child can learn, don't do this business.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a friend who had a daughter when I was teaching, and her daughter was going, she was a senior in high school, and as she was planning out her plan for college, the mother said, well, you know, pick your career and then minor in education so that you can become a teacher until you get your dream job. And I was a teacher at the time, and I said, do not do that. Number one, I don't want a colleague like that in my profession.
Yep.
And number two, I said, if I was ever a principal, I would never hire her. Never.
Yep.
Because this is the teaching is not a side hustle.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
you gotta have it for the kids.
I know I promised I'd be quiet, but I can't.
Surprise, surprise, you can't.
Well, just for literally 30 seconds, my sister is a special needs teacher in New York City, has been for just about 30 years now. And I know that she would agree 100%, because I talk to her all the time, with what Lorraine just said. Teaching, if you're going to be a substitute teacher and be moved from school to school throughout a system, then that's fine as not a side hustle, but it's fine as a backup position.
Right.
I wouldn't call it a side hustle, because you still have to have the three major things my sister claims teachers need. And my sister is a liaison between schools and the Board of Education. So she's never been a principal, but she loves being in the classroom. And she's been injured by the kids. She needed a year off. She got headbutted by a child once and couldn't wait to get back to teaching. You have to have patience, drive, and understanding. And if you have those three things, you can teach kids in the school system.
Absolutely.
And she was teaching stuffed animals at the age of 6 in her bedroom. So, you know, I figured as much. So it's a calling. You know, you don't go into medicine if you don't like people, because you're going to have to deal with people. Don't become a doctor if you don't like people, if you don't like talking to people.
Right.
You don't become a lawyer if you don't like reading, because there is a ton of reading in being a lawyer.
Yep.
So you don't become a teacher just because there's nothing else to do. And so I agree so much with what you said that I had to come out of hiding to make this comment. And I just wanted that to be known. And you've had an amazing career to this point from what I've been listening to. I have not missed a word. My face is exactly where it is when the black screen is up. I'm sitting right here. But I've been taking notes so far, and I'll let you two get back to your conversation. I just had to make that comment that you are absolutely right. And I really, truly, personally believe, do not take teaching as a minor just so you have some sort of backup. There are other things you can take as your backup. And there are so many side gigs out there today between Uber and DoorDash and Lyft and Instacart and hundreds of others, that teaching should not be the backup thing. If you're in a classroom, even as a substitute, if you're in a classroom and you don't like being around kids and you don't care if kids learn or don't learn, then you're ineffective at the best. At the best, you're ineffective.
Yep.
And at the worst, you're actually causing problems for when the teacher who should be there
And
returns.
damage to the youth that are in front of you, because they create a vision of what it is to be that educator. And so one of the things that, so my fiance, who's an artist by trade and a business guy, is now teaching first grade, kindergarten and first grade.
Hardest job he ever had, no doubt.
Oh, let me tell you. And his parents were like, wait, what? You're doing what? And they're like, that range, she's influenced you. But because he actually started off by doing a project with my youth at my high school around art, right? And it was around using art to help them cope with their social emotional needs, especially in this COVID environment. So he came right before COVID hit, the summer before. And so he did a summer program that was this amazing. He took he had about 10 of my toughest students. Of that, 3 remained faithful, never missed a day of summer school. Those 3 young men created at one point in the project, they were creating, he taught them, techniques, how to blend color, how to get circles, how to do shapes, that kind of stuff, right? Just to give them the preliminary, the art component. And while they were doing all this art, there was all this conversation going on between them. And it was great because it was young men with a grown man who has sons their ages.
Yeah.
And at one point, they created an art piece that was to express how they were feeling, their innermost, deepest feeling. And let me tell you, I get emotional because
I'm getting emotional too.
Now these are tough inner city kids. We're talking kids from the harshest communities in Chicago, Englewood, Auburn Gresham, the South Side. Every time you hear on the news Chicago, you hear Englewood. We just got a female cop that got killed last week from that community. These 3 young men, tough street kids, painted broken hearts. All 3 of them in their separate spaces in their room, not knowing what the other was. I got goosebumps when I tell you, my whole body is in a chill bump. And they each explained their painting. One of the boys was heartbroken because his mom and her sister, who is his favorite aunt, were not on speaking terms and hadn't spoken in about 3 years. And, you think this street kid, he doesn't care about family, right? These are the assumptions that people make about these troubled youth because they don't understand what's the root cause of the trouble, right? We only deal with the external expression of that. And this young man shared his story. Well, part of the project at the end was that we took all of the paintings that they created, they framed them, and we did a gallery expo at Damon's art gallery, an art studio, and we invited the families and the school community, and those boys sold all their paintings.
Lorraine, you and Damon, power couple.
But that mom and that aunt came together. Whew. That's just humanity and love, right? And agape means love, one form of love. And to see the mom and her sister come together through this project and this opportunity, and then the kids sold all their art, was just an amazing, amazing thing. And so, and that's why I want to bring all these. I got to the point where I said, I'm tired of doing education through somebody else's lens, through somebody else's dream, through somebody else's lining of their pockets. And sadly, I've been in education for a long, long time in many systems, both either as a teacher, as a principal, or as a principal support. I've been up in Detroit, Boston, Baltimore. I've been all over the place, Seattle, Renton, the different school systems in Washington State. When it gets to, when the bigger the system gets, the less it's about the kids and the more it's about the money and the funding. And to see all this money getting poured into some of these school systems and the money not trickling down to the kids and where it's needed in the classroom with these teachers, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I said, well, I still have breath in my body and I'm still young enough, even though I've been doing this for a long time, to still make a difference. I wanted to do it this way. So the nonprofit, and the purpose of the nonprofit is that whatever funding comes in goes straight to the kids. There's nothing that stays in a nonprofit.
Right.
And that's why I'm excited about that. And so my goal is that I'll be able to help students prepare for job readiness, post-secondary planning, scholarships for college and micro-credentialing, and any other opportunities for them to succeed, entrepreneurial opportunities, if they want to go to culinary arts, if they want to open a restaurant or business, or whatever the case may be. And so this is why I do what I do. And having met Damon and the way we came together, we think so much alike, and what we do for the youth is it's amazing. It took me a long time to find that right partner, but man, I'm glad that I didn't settle in the journey.
Absolutely. And talk about doing epic things, Lorraine. Kudos to you. It's just absolutely amazing. And I don't think I've shared with you, but my youngest son, who's on his way to college next week, his passion is to be a special education teacher. And it is definitely a calling. He has known that he wanted to be a special ed teacher since 7th grade. And I see him interact with children and special needs children. We have special needs people in our family, and I see the way he interacts with them. And he is fit for that role. He's this rough and tough who he thinks is a street kid. Mom knows differently.
Like mine.
Yeah. And I see him, and he is truly fit for that role. He was a teacher's aide in 7th grade when they did away with all of the programs in the middle schools, and they no longer had music and things like that, and art and wood shop and things like that. He said he wanted to be a special TA. I'm like, all right, it doesn't matter. You can be a TA instead. But he was a TA in a special ed class. And that's where he absolutely blossomed, working with these kids. So he did that in 7th and 8th grade. And then when he went into high school, he still went back to visit those students until they graduated from middle school. So I knew that that was his calling way back then, and he's never wavered. He's like, that's what I want to do. I want to work with special ed.
Definitely have them connected. I mean,
Yes,
I'm here. Adam has a sister that's in special ed as well. So definitely my niece, who I never in a gazillion years thought would go into education, is now in teaching in Denver. She just graduated this May, and she said she wanted to be in Denver. And I said, oh, so, I made a few phone calls right to Denver, and just to connect with people that I know over there. And she applied to 3 different schools, and she got all 3 offers. And and I told her, I said, you always have Titi as your I'm here to coach and mentor and guide you and support you in whatever you need around education. So I connected her with a few principals that I actually know out there, even though she didn't end up in their schools. She picked the one that she wanted. She was really happy. My brother took her out there, and she got her apartment, and I just can't even believe it, because I feel like it was just yesterday that I just remember seeing her born, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where's this time going? But
I know.
also, I have a bonus daughter from when I was married, And she is also, I took her to take Daughter to Work Week when I was teaching first grade.
Mhm.
And she's now she's a high school counselor. She was actually a college admissions counselor for the incoming freshmen at Northern University, in Northern Illinois University, NIU. And now she did that for 10 years. My bonus daughter is going to be 40.
Oh my goodness, that's not possible, Lorraine. Not
It is
possible.
crazy, but she's
Yeah.
been a high school admissions counselor and a high school counselor. So, you know, it's been cool to see also, like, even within the family who I've influenced, never thinking, you know, you don't do it like for the, I'm going to try to recruit these 5 to be in education. But this year I had 2 that graduated, 2 of the 6 that graduated college, 2 graduated as teachers.
Wow.
And I'm really, really excited about that.
Yeah, I bet. Absolutely amazing. So Adam, we could bring you back on.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Let's see that face of yours.
Here I am.
So Lorraine has so many different projects going on, so many paths. They are all so wonderful. But we have a surprise for her.
Yes,
I
we
think
do.
she's
And
gonna
I've
be
been prepping it while we were talking. But I want to go through the steps live on screen. So, Lorraine, we're going to help you with a promotional video for free to
Yeah.
help promote your current business direction is the best way to put it, I guess. I just want to, you noticed I threw up there agape equals love while you were talking. It turns out that a very close friend of Kim and I, who's been on this show, Kiana Scott out of Florida, runs the Agape Institute, which is a homeschool school for kids in her area. She has about 16 students at this point, and it's called the Agape Institute. And what people need to know about the word agape, it's not just love, it's specifically love of humanity.
Yes.
Okay, I know this word very, very well. It was derived by the Greeks originally as the love gods, the gods of the Mount Olympus had for humans.
Right.
That's where the word comes from. And it's just an amazing word. I love when people use that word, especially in business, because it's missing from a lot of today's entrepreneurs. And that love of your customer is more important than anything else. You want to be a billionaire, love your customer.
Yep.
Right.
1000%. Yep. And that's one thing that I always tell people that I work with. When you put helping others at the forefront of your business, the money comes on the back end. It never fails.
Sometimes it comes even quicker than that. You'd be
Yeah.
shocked. I mean, just a referral business is the best business any business can have.
Yep.
It's that simple. You know, remember the old Breck commercial? It starts out like our screen right now with 3 faces on it.
And they
These 3
sell 2
people try,
friends.
yes, and,
We're
they,
dating
and so
ourselves.
on
We're
and
dating
so on, and
ourselves.
suddenly there's 1,000 faces on your screen,
Oh
and
my God, that
and
we've
that's
all dated ourselves with that.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? I never saw that commercial.
I haven't dated myself. I've already told our listeners on multiple occasions that I rode a Stegosaurus to school when I was younger. So, you know, it was easy to, you just hold the plates and you don't have to worry about a belt or anything like that. I'm a good hot mess. Okay, so Kim, do I have the ability to share screens?
You sure do.
I do. Excellent, excellent. So what I'm going to do is share my screen, and we're going to start with this one. And we're switch over to this though. This is a nice blank screen. HG Associates was another project I was working on. So I wrote a little blurb here just based on what you were saying. It's not much. As you can see, it's like 2 sentences, 2.5 sentences. Can you see it over here? Stop overpaying for credit. Lorraine Cruz, 35-year veteran, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This particular software that you're looking at is an artificial intelligence copywriter. It will write based on what little bit you give it. You give it a tidbit and it will write you a full-length article, a full-length blog, a full-length book. If you give it that ability, you just have to tell it how much you want written. Now we're looking for a 30-second promo video So I didn't have to put much in. And then I threw in some keywords, credit fix, financial awareness. There's a couple more in there that you can't see because they go below. And I'm just going to hit compose and we're going to see what we come up with. As you can see, it is typing. I didn't tell it what to type. And what is your credit repair company's name?
Oh, I haven't given it I said Cruz Credit Builders.
Cruz, I like that. Okay, Cruz Credit Builders. Because it automatically came up with what I have here. So this is what it wrote so far. Do you want to know how credit cards, credit bureaus, credit unions, and conventional financial institutions profit off of your credit? Now this comes because you're an educator. This is the angle you would automatically take. I gave it a tone of coming from education. Then keep reading. In this article, I will expose the credit industry's dirty secrets so you can get back on track to becoming financially independent. And now, of course, we can tell it to keep going.
Oh.
Now, it's writing this without my telling it a thing, but you can see where it's going
Wow.
with it, right? The credit industry's credit collection tactics are designed to put profits over customers or consumers, and crushing credit scores is their way of making sure you pay up. How does this happen? By accessing your credit reports, credit bureaus and credit card companies have access to all sorts of financial information about you. If a credit card company believes that you're unable or unwilling to, and let's go one more, notice it's writing the article piece by piece. And I think we're going to be nearing the end for a promo. Maybe one more time after this. Where did we leave off? All sorts of unwilling. Okay, here we go. If a credit card company believes that you're unable or unwilling to pay, they'll file credit card charge-offs, and credit bureaus will post credit card defaults on your credit reports. For most credit cards, banks are responsible to pay up if you miss payments or fail to pay your credit obligations. Credit cards can be paid early with no penalty or assessed late fees. And so it kind of got off track, right? It's going into credit cards. We want it to go into credit scores. So what I'm going to do is take this back a little bit to where it was still on track. Say right about there.
Yep.
And I'm going to give it some extra direction. Remember, it's an artificial intelligence, so it wasn't sure. Credit scores are very important. We're going to add that in. And now we're going to have it compose again. It's amazing what these softwares can do. Now you notice it wrote differently here, and there's the word FICO, which is what we were looking for. Because of this information, credit institutions can make credit decisions based on your credit habits. Now we're back on track. Your credit report consists of credit card accounts, loans, credit applications, and other combined financial sources. These credit reports are compiled into a number that is referred to as a FICO score by most credit bureaus and financial institutions. These scores determine if you are, compose. This is the last part right here. And then somewhere in here, we can end it with whatever we want to end it with. So let's get rid of this ending here, put a period here instead of a comma. And we'll put our own tag ending on this because this is about 30 seconds of copy at this point, maybe even a minute, to be honest. All right, so these credit reports are compiled into a number called a FICO score. The credit score is a number ranging from 300 to 850, with 700 above being considered excellent credit or credit worthy. Credit card companies and credit unions use FICO scores they obtain in order to determine if you are credit worthy or not. More importantly, Cruz Credit Builders can help you remove inaccuracies, right, in your credit file so that your scores will be higher and you will get the best rates for credit. And that's a great way to end it, yes?
Yep. Just fixed spelling of remove.
Well, that's easy enough. I think the I has to go away. My English teachers grades 1 through 16, because I went through 16 grades total, would be really embarrassed at this moment. Although that was my finger's mistake, not my brain's mistake. So here we have your promo video. And it says provided by, I would say instead of provided, because we can make little changes, brought to you by,
Mhm.
and then put a comma there. Wish people would learn how to use a comma better.
Oh,
That's
I know.
Literally a whole other talk show.
Well, I want to do a show on there, and there.
Yes.
were, and where.
How
Yep.
about which, and
Which is which.
Yep.
And our. I don't understand how people are mistaking R-A-R-E for our.
Our.
Well, those are the people that ask questions. And I think that should be made illegal. It sounds like murder to me. I don't know. But then again, Lorraine, Kim already knows this. I have a pet peeve about words. For instance, I don't like the way we use certain words. I've asked people for many years now that if I throw my cat out of a moving car, is that considered kitty litter? And nobody seems to have the answer. I almost made my co-host shoot coffee out of her nose. Wow. Okay, that is an honor, by the
Only
way.
if it's only kitty litter if it's a baby.
Okay, I'll accept that answer.
Oh.
All right, so here we go. We have our copy, right? And it looks pretty good. And what did that take? 2 or 3 minutes to write this beautiful copy that will be the words in the promo video that we're going to make. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy the whole thing.
Okay, so I'm going to share mine. And so you can see my screen, it's a video. And I'm going to check this standard business presentation. Standard
Go for it.
business.
Let's go with that one.
Okay. Has some music to it. We're going to use this template. And what was the headline that we used?
Isn't it time? Question mark.
Isn't it time?
Question mark.
Okay, here's add story.
There you go.
Paste that part, brought to you by Cruz Credit Builders, financial sources.
Hey,
Next
Kim.
part. Yeah.
One of our softwares just posted a Facebook post for you while you were doing this.
Oh, did it?
Yes, it did, because I just got notified that you just posted a new Facebook post, and I know for a fact you are not currently on Facebook.
See, I set it and forget it. It's all taken care of.
Good to know that the system is working though while you're not.
Now, don't forget, Kim, separate these into sentences.
Yep,
One
that's what
one
we're going
sentence
to do.
long each.
So brought to you by Cruz Credit Builders. So do you want to know how credit cards, credit bureaus, credit unions, and conventional financial institutions profit off your credit? And we're going to a space there. Should we do a space per word per sentence?
Yep, and the shorter the sentences, the better, because Lorraine is going to get to pick from the 30,000 image gallery what images she wants to go with each sentence.
Too many choices.
That's okay. We will narrow it down. We'll narrow it down to about a dozen for each. What you're going to do is tell us what you think should go in the background, and we'll get you the best pictures we have for each thing you think would look good in the background.
Gotcha.
Like, for instance, I know that is not the live sunset this time.
No,
Okay.
That was a sunrise. Those are my sunrises. This is a sunrise from last month.
Yes, it is. Because it is not that time of day in Chicago where it would look like that right now.
And it is
So-
gloomy. I didn't want to give you that gloomy picture today.
So back to our video here. So the system actually gives you 3 options. So you can actually put in your script and we have a great program that will develop the script for you, which we showed you. So we put that script in here. You can also put in a URL. So if you had your own website, we can put that URL in and it will develop a whole script based on your URL. It will draw information from that URL. Or if we had a media file already, we can throw that in here and it will curate a whole script for you. So
Based on the video, based on the pictures in your.
So I have a website, but the website is under development. So it just it says coming soon.
Right. Well, when it's ready, you can come back and, these
put it in.
softwares, I'm going to let you know a secret too. These softwares are not expensive at all. So once you see what they can do, if you end up becoming a user of these softwares, as things get bigger and better, your software will grow with you automatically without any additional charges. So, once you have your website developed, and the fun part is if you take that copywriter, it'll help you write the copy for your website.
Well, that's key, because I'm going to tell you just the thought of, I think one of the things that I struggle with is I'm pretty good at keeping up, for example, among my social media. I'm really good about keeping up my Facebook page. But there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, and all these other, and I can't. Twitter,
Snapchat, Pinterest. Do you want me to go on?
I can't do it I mean, if I'm doing that, then I'm in the wrong. I'm announcing that I'm in the wrong business, right? I'm not in the business of developing content for social media.
Exactly.
Right. But I need the content for social media to keep developing my businesses, right?
Also to grow your audiences.
Yeah. And
the only way these days to grow your audiences is pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for TV and radio ads, or develop a good, strong social media presence on 3 to 5 platforms minimum.
Yes.
Now, Lorraine, remember what I said earlier about Kim's Facebook post while she was working on separating sentences?
Yes.
That is one of the biggest helps there is, because while you're doing the actual things your business needs you to do, the scheduler there has pre-made content that you put in it and will just post for you throughout the day.
Yes.
That is a time saver. And if I could tell you right now, the average cost of that program, which also comes with a ton of media that you can use, a ton of artistic media you can use. I don't know if you've ever used Microsoft Paint. You probably have, because you've probably done many PowerPoints over the years. If you took Microsoft Paint and improved it 300 trillion%, you would get the product that is used to schedule the posting of these posts that Kim is posting without being there. So that's just another software, and it costs less than $12 a month.
And let me add that all of the social media platforms, one of the algorithms is that when you use videos, it boosts your posts. So people think, oh my God, video, I don't feel comfortable doing a video. I don't know where to start to do a video. Well, guess what? We're going to give you a video right now, and it's going to be super easy to curate this video. So
the video doesn't always have to be me speaking.
Exactly.
Correct. It just has to be informational.
Yes. Yes.
And then we also have softwares that can turn you into a little cartoon person. So that you feel more comfortable, because it's not you and your mannerisms.
I've been looking into that, actually.
We have 5 choices. In any case, the whole point being that we want to take and give you as many softwares that work together, that partner together well, so that when you use them, instead of spending 6 hours on your advertising, you spend 1 hour on your advertising, and the rest of the time actually closing business.
Exactly. Doing what you need to do. So let's get back to this. Does this all look good, Adam?
Yeah, there's going to be a couple there that are too long. You know that.
Yep. Oh, here's one right here.
In which case you just break up the big sentence. That one's, that's better. That one's still going to be a little long in the middle there.
There we go.
There you go. That's perfect, because then you ask the question in a frame to itself.
Yep.
Okay, this
Okay.
doesn't look too bad, and it's not
Okay.
super long, which is perfect.
Okay.
Now,
we're
Lorraine,
gonna-
the magic begins when Kim clicks next. As you can see, the AI is now hard at work creating a slideshow for us to work on that will become the video.
Gotcha.
And we're going to be able to edit each slide to what we want it to be. It will
And-
curate pictures for us, but we don't have to use those pictures. We can change anything and everything on the screen.
Gotcha.
4, 3, 2, 1. Now put the pictures. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Now, the only reason you're not seeing the word time, and Kim's going to edit that, is because it's not fitting in the square. Hit edit, Kim, and you'll see time in there when the edit comes up. This will fix the sizing, and it will put the picture. Okay, so I'm going to take a turn here. On the side there, you can see there are hundreds of pictures that we can choose to put in that spot. Yep, so let's see what it looks like. Preview just this slide. Okay, so let's stretch that out to the screen size. Where is the type?
Okay.
We have created actual promo videos before these updates took effect in less than 6 minutes.
I get it though. I trust me.
And as
I
you can
hate
see,
when
it's
I get
not
an
hard to
update.
use.
Yeah, I hate when I get an update and all of a sudden they move the buttons.
Yeah,
and-
all the rules change, and that's crazy. All right, so
Yeah.
just open it and save it like that. It'll
Right.
I think we're just about done. Now, watch it's still buffering, so we might still see errors. But I don't think so. I think this will show you them in the right format. It has a nice rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
There's your favorite part.
That one is my favorite one.
Now the next one had a problem
There
after
it
this, after this,
Yep.
and now it doesn't. Because when you render it, it's going to automatically size it back to normal. That's why I see none of them have that problem now.
Yep. Remember, it was the application.
But now it looks perfect. You can even read her phone number.
Love it.
My screen's not big enough. My screen's... I like this. Now I want to see that nice call to action screen at the end. It should look really good. Yeah, I love
Nice.
that. All right, so here's the fun part. Now Kim can download this to her computer and then either share it with you if it's too big or email it to you.
But check out how you can automatically download it, or I mean, share it to your Facebook, YouTube channel,
Twitter,
Twitter.
and what is
Yep.
that?
Putting my YouTube channel together this week too.
Oh, it
Perfect.
even goes to Facebook communities. I love it.
Yep. Yep.
So you can auto share it to those places, but by downloading it, you can share it anywhere you want. So
Nice.
There you go. Your free promo, commercial grade video.
Well, I think to get back on track with Lorraine being our latest and greatest guest, this has been absolutely amazing. But not only that, Lorraine, we're going to give you this video that is another promotional video for you to use and you to have. So you'll get a copy of this YouTube
This interview.
video
Yep.
as well. So you can use this also. So you're getting 2 videos to promote yourself.
Two
Two.
mixed in one. Well, you
Yes.
got 2 cruises on here, so it's only befitting.
Double your
Ex-
pleasure, double your fun.
And we're
Exactly.
opposite coast. I'm the
videos
East
for
Coast
one.
girl. She's the West
Yep,
Coast
I'm the
girl.
West Coast girl. Absolutely. West
That
Coast
makes
girl.
me the desert guy.
Yes, you are the desert guy right there in
I-
that humidity.
When you're ready, once your website is up, give Kim or me a call and let's discuss which softwares are going to make your life easier.
Yeah.
Okay, that don't, like I said, I don't want to add cost. I don't want to add expense. I want to add ease of use. So we're talking, you know, if you're spending 100 a month, you could have 4 of these softwares. That's not a lot of money. You know, 100 a month is one customer is paying you that. So we'll get you set up. You seem to know how to use it already. You've just learned the whole software by watching us do this. And that's just the video maker. That's not including Canva, which is what will give you the scheduler, which we were talking about for Kim. Snacker, which is only $19 a month, which will allow you to make your videos interactive.
Mhm.
Conversion AI at its low cost, if you're not using it a ton, is $29. If you want unlimited use and what we call boss mode, which is unlimited words, it's $119 a month. But you know, that's a copywriter, so that's a little more expensive than other things. You know,
Gotcha.
that has an AI that has to do a lot of work. But either way, the maximum you'll spend per month would be around $200 a month, which is less than your internet bill, most likely. And you'll have the ability to make videos, write copy, schedule. Canva has about, what is it, Kim, about 300,000 design.
Oh God, yeah. Yep.
It is the premier design software on the market. And all of this into one package through us, you'll get the best prices. We actually have lower prices on some of these than if you went and ordered them yourself. So you let us know, we'll give you the links to sign up for the ones you want. And then that tune maker, I know you want to learn about that. Come to us, don't do it on your own. We'll compare the ones for what you want. We have 4 of them. One of those 4 will have exactly what you're looking for.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna go anything that Kim, I trust Kim, and that's what comes with with relationship building is, you know, we've been working together for the last 2 years,
Yep.
a little over
2
2 years, and honestly, we've been through some rough situations where if it hadn't been that we were able to rely on each other, we would.
I'm in the same boat.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
I
We've come a
trust,
long
I
way,
trust
Lorraine.
Kim. I trust Kim exactly that much and more.
Yeah.
She's been my co-host now for almost 6 months. Kim took the time to get on a plane and come to Arizona and spend a day in our offices. So we've gotten to know each other face to face as well as online, which is pretty cool. I have a cup that is about this size. Hang on, where is it there? That is about this. Can't really see it. I hate this studio. I like the regular studio. But anyway, actually, I have the exact cup right here. This is invisible, but there it is.
There we
Has
go.
the logo on it. There it is.
There it is. Yep.
That was a gift from Kim when she came to visit. So I agree with you. And if Kim is the meeting point where I can gain your trust and vice versa, it would be very, very reciprocated is the right word. Kim can tell you I'm about as trustworthy as the day is long. If I say I'm going to do something, it gets done.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
So it has been a pleasure to work with both of you and to come back from our hiatus, Lorraine, and have you as our first guest. I'm honored. Yes, absolutely honored to have you here and tell us everything that you're doing. I know that you have lots and lots of success in your future. And anything that we can do, and I speak on Adam's behalf as well, anything that we can do to help you succeed, that's what we're all about. We're all about helping others, and we will freely give you this video. And when Adam does all the editing to this podcast and YouTube video, that's yours as well. So
Thank you.
any last words that you have, Lorraine? I know we've taken up quite a bit of your time.
Oh my gosh, no, I purposefully blocked off the time because I knew it was going to be a rich experience, as it always is when you and I are collaborating. So I have been, and I've been waiting for months. I'm like, okay, Kim, I'm almost at this deadline. I'm almost done with that. I'm almost done with, and then I've had a few little life hiccups that have happened along the way. So I definitely blocked out my time for you. I even like today I was like, I have to stay home. All week I've been working out of some remote offices.
All right,
All
we've got to
right.
go. So the sign
Yep.
off, it's been a while.
It has.
If people want to
until next
reach
time-
us, if people want to get in touch with us, best thing to
Still
do is
have-
leave a message in this video. Actually, at the bottom, you can chat there. We don't turn that off, but
Yep.
but you can reach us, and our email addresses and our phone numbers will be in the description of the video, including Lorraine's. And then, of course, Kim, where else can they send questions or issues or anything they want
can
to talk about?
Also send us an email at questions@cruising-into-a-better-financial-future. We'll get them that way as well.
That sounds pretty easy. So
Yep,
I guess until
super
next
easy.
time, when we go cruising into a better financial future and cruising
got
into
it.
a better future,
Yep.
we'll see you shortly. We are soon going to have 2 shows a week, one dedicated to credit and finance and one dedicated to helping businesses expand. So that's why we've been gone. We've been upgrading things, and we're going to be doing 2 shows a week shortly, like at the
Yep.
end of the summer.
Exactly. Looking forward to it. All
More
right.
Adam rants that people can jump on.
Always available there. All right.
I
Lorraine,
rant at will. What can I tell you?
thank you so much.
Lorraine, it's been a pleasure. Have a great rest of
Likewise.
your day.
It has been a pleasure.
Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for being a part of Cruising into a Better Financial Future. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss a future episode. We'll see you next time. Bye.